what's it going to take to get you to come here and commit to me is way different than, yeah, I'll give you a roster spot. It's different. It's a different feeling. Go where you're wanted, for Pete's sake. Stop begging coaches to take you. How many times should I write this coach? If they were interested and they saw your video, they would be on you. Everything else is begging.
Mhm.
Everything else is begging. Assuming they saw your video, yeah, videos go to spam. I get it. You got to figure out how to get them to dig it out, how to get them to look at it. But assume you've been assessed. Assuming you've been looked at the ID cam. Assuming they've seen your film. Assuming that they've been on the field and seen you. Kids get these cards at tournaments. They know what coaches were there, and then you start begging, and then you start begging, and then you start begging. And eventually it becomes late in the process because you've been begging and chasing these schools for so long, and you've been ignoring all of these other schools that you should be approaching, that are more appropriate for your soccer abilities and level, and academic abilities and level, and financial abilities and level. And you've been ignoring and blowing off some of these coaches. I know kids are blowing off coaches. I know they are. They're telling me they are. Yeah, I haven't got back to them. Yeah, I'm not that interested. Maybe you should talk to the coach before you make a judgment decision. Maybe you should take a look and do at least do a video tour before you make snap judgment decisions about, oh God, it's D3. Oh geez, it's D2. Ooh, it's NAIA. Gross. It's junior college. Ooh, why would I do that? I've worked so hard on my academics. Why would I consider an NAIA or a junior college? I don't need that. I don't want that. That's gross. What would my friends think? What would my family think? That's disgusting. I deserve to play D1.
I think that advice, as far as going where you're wanted, is so incredible because a lot of players are just attached to this idea of like going to these dream schools. And great, it is great to shoot for the stars, and I've known so many girls who have this dream, oh, I want to play for the UNCs and the Santa Claras and the Stanfords, and I think that's awesome, and a small percentage can, but a lot of girls need to look like, what tier D1 can I play at? Can I keep up with the level of the UNCs? Have I tried out an ID camp? Have I just understood where I stand with these players? Or do I need to go to a different D1? But when you're looking at that other D1 school, you made such a good point that you need to look at how much playing time you're going to get. What's their record? There are a ton of D1 teams that are losing programs. They haven't won a game all season. And it's like, do you want to be a part of that program? Or do you want to be a part of a program where you are going to get playing time? They do win their conference in D2, D3, or NAIA, and you can contribute to the program. And I think these are just such important things for players to be aware of. And I do have a question as far as this, but what if a player is like, well, like the only schools that are interested in me are like these like small schools in the middle of Kansas, and I have no clue what they are, and I'm just insulted by that.
Yeah. The first thing I tell kids is get on the. What's it going to cost you? It's gonna be free except for your time, and it's probably going to take 30 minutes of your time to have a conversation with that coach. At least you explored. At least it's a practice of talking to coaches. I think is important. I tell kids any coach that wants to talk to you, get on the phone with them. Now, there will be some certain point in time, probably, where you've talked to maybe five, six coaches of virtually the same level in kind of the same geographic locations where there's a lot of similarities, very similar win loss records, similar academics. And at some point, you might be able to get to the point where you've got enough experience in talking to enough schools at certain levels where you can make some judgments without talking to the coaches. But you need to be able to build experience